Hello friends, welcome to TechGranth. So in our last video, we have seen about Docker Compose, why we use Docker Compose, and what are the use cases or various features of Docker Compose. Then we have seen how to create a Docker Compose YAML file. Now we will be seeing how we can use that YAML file, Docker Compose YAML file, and a Docker Compose up command to run the application with different services on the command line. So let's just move to command line and run our example. So this is I am taking from official documentation, so you can also refer that. But to make it understand easier, I am just showing here how Docker Compose works. So we have this structure here. Let me go to our directory tg, and you can see we are having four things here, four files here. App.py, which is written in Python as it is having .py extension. Then we have Docker Compose YAML file, which we talked about in our last video, how to create that, right? Then we are having a Docker file as well for our service or our container. Then we have requirement.txt, which will having all the packages required for Python to work. So first of all, let me give you a look about app.py. Let me just clear my screen and vim. Okay, you can see this is a Python, as I told, it is a Python script. So what we are doing here, we are importing time module and Redis module, and also let me just make it together. Okay, right. So these are three modules we are importing. First is time, second is Redis, and third is from Flask module. We are importing only the Flask uh, only the single function of his single functionality, which is Flask. And here we are giving our app as this name, and for cache we are using this Redis host on 6379 port. uh, then we have created a function here which will get hit count, okay, and retries 5, where we have used this condition. While true, we can try return cache dot increment hits, and except if we do not get this, then we'll use this redis dot exception connection error as exception. Okay, and if retry is equal to 0, then raise an exception, and or retry is less than equal to 1, time dot sleep 0.5 second time sleep. Then we will be using app route function. Okay, this app dot route, we will be using slash, and with this we'll one more function. For hello, we will be counting those get hit count using that get hit count function, and it will be returning hello world. I have seen how many times we will refresh our browser. It will show here within that, which is count of get hit count. So the main thing here, whenever our application will be working, and in the browser we will see this content written there. Okay, so let me just save it. Then for this Python script, we would be requiring these Flask and Redis. These packages must be installed, so we are defining here. So it will also being used there. Okay, then let's see our Docker file. Okay, how we are using the Docker file. So from Python, as we would be using Python, so we are using here Python 3.7 Alpine image, base image. Work dir, working directory will be slash code, and environment we are defining here this one. Flask app will be app.py, which I show you the code for that application, Python code. Then Flask run host will be the local host we are defining here. Then we will run this command on the container app apk add no cache, and these packages will be installed. Then we will copy our requirement.txt file where we have mentioned those Flask and Redis packages to be installed for Python, right, within the container. Then we will run using this requirement.txt, we will install those packages using pip command. And then in the final, we'll copy all these same on the container, and then run the command flask run here within this Docker file. So that was about the Docker file. Now the in the last we'll see about Docker Compose YAML. So here, as I told, we would be using version here. Here we are using version 3. Then we would define our services where we have two services. One is web and second is Redis. So within the web, we have build which will be on current directory. Then we have ports to map that web service at 5000 port from host to container. And then we have Redis image. We will be using Redis Alpine here. So that is the configuration for Docker Compose file, YAML file. So as we have seen all these four requirements here, app.py, requirement.txt, which will be used in Docker file, and then we have Docker Compose YAML having both of the services defined. So as I mentioned earlier, we just need to run a single command now, which is Docker Compose and up. That's it. Let me run this command and see. So it created a default driver, network driver, and with our directory name, current directory where we are having underscore default. So that is by default the naming convention for this, where from where we will run our Docker Compose YAML file. It will create a network driver with that directory underscore default name. So it is using first of all our Docker file, and from there it is now installing those packages mentioned here in this one, right? GCC, MUCL dev, and Linux headers. So let's just wait to get it finished, where it will take some time to reduce our video time. Now it is installing these requirement.txt packages, which Flask and Redis, and then finally it will run the default Flask run command here. And if you'll see here, it will create environments for our application as well, which is again our current working directory underscore app and underscore one, right? So this will be our environment name for Redis, and this is for web. And at the end, you can see ready to accept exceptions. It means our application is running now. Let's go to web browser, and here let's see for we have mentioned 5000 port. So if you will see what I mentioned in that app.py file, the content, right? Hello world, I have seen one times. If I'll refresh it, the count will increase by 1. So let me just refresh it. So it will say 2. Then if we'll again refresh it, it will say 3 times. So if we'll see what all images it has built for us, let's create another terminal here, right? And here we'll see Docker images. You can see here it has been created Redis, Python, and this TG web. So these are using these images, and you can see here as well which request we have get on that web browser. It is also showing here. Now how we can stop it? Either we can press Control C here, or in our other terminal we are already in our the same directory, and here we can just say Docker compose down. And if you'll see here, right, it received SIGTEM scheduling shutdown, DB saved on disk, and Redis is now ready to exit. Okay, so that has been stopped now with just a single Docker compose down command. You see, it was so simple and easy to uh, run our services, multiple services within just with just single command. Now let's make some changes and see how much faster it can rebuild those services with the changes we will do. So let me clear my screen, Control L, and we will just update our Docker compose file. Okay, and what we will do here, we will just update two things. So below the ports, okay, okay. So what we have added here, let me just show you. So okay, we have changed. We not changed. We just add these lines here, right? Which means we created one more volume where from the current working directory of our host will be mapped to or mount to the slash code directory inside the container, which will allow us to modify the code on the fly without having to rebuild the image. So we can just make code changes here, and it will automatically make the code changes in the within the container. Second, as we have mentioned that it will run in the development environment. A Flask environment will be the development only, and this option we should use only for development environment, so that it will run in development mode and reload the code if there will be any changes in the code. So we will be just saving it, and then again we just run that docker compose up command. So you can see now it is again ready to accept exception. So we can again go to web browser and just refresh. You can see it has been reset to 1. Okay. And if we'll refresh again, it will again increase this count. And you can see we have done 2 requests there. So we got it here on the web environment. You can see the logs here as well about web or Redis. So as the application code as is now mounted into the container using that volume we mentioned in Docker Compose YAML file, we can make changes to the code and can see the changes instantly here on the web browser without having to rebuild the image. So let's just make some changes in our in this terminal, and let me clear screen, and we'll make changes in app.py. And here, as I told earlier, we have to just check this one, right? Hello world, I have seen that many times. So we will just update it hello from TechGranth. Okay, so let's just save it. That's it. And if we'll go to now web browser and we just refresh it, you can change this will updated, right? So it has been updated from hello world to hello from TechRun. So you can see we did not even need to bring the compose down and then up again, right? We can make the changes on the fly, and those changes will affect instantly. We can also see some other commands like if we want to run a Docker Compose up in detach mode or in the background. So we can use Docker Compose up hyphen D. Okay, we are not going to run here, but just for knowledge, we can use that hyphen D option as well. And apart from that, we how many Docker Compose we are running, so we can check here as well. Docker Compose PS. So you can see right now we are having this TG Web 1, Docker Compose, and Redis 1, both the services we have running here. And if we have used that hyphen D option, we can use then Docker Compose stop command, or if we are using we are using in this another terminal Docker Compose up, then we can use Docker Compose down command as I show earlier as well. And with that, it will stop every services and all the network and everything, all the components related to this Docker Compose. So, but the volume data which will write within the container, that will not be released. So we can use here hyphen hyphen volumes option to clean up those volumes as well, which will remove the data from those volume used by that Redis container. And one more thing, one more command we can use, Docker Compose run command to run with specific compose name, like you have seen this, right? We have two names. Then we can use for our services, uh, like we had web, and we can see all the environments we used for that service. If I'll press enter, right, you can see here we use all these environments there, which we have mentioned, like Flask app, which app we will be using app.py, and Flask run host is 0.0.0, right? We have mentioned this one, and recently in Docker Compose YAML file, we have mentioned this Flask environment as development, right? All other are generated random by default from Docker Compose. Okay, so like this, we can run commands specific to any service with Docker Compose run command. And apart from this, if we are not sure about any command, we can use Docker Compose hyphen hyphen help. It will show all the options we can use with Docker Compose command, right? We can use -f option to specify an alternate compose file which can be located in any directory on our system. We can use -p for project name, as I mentioned earlier, to specify an alternate project name, right? Default will be the directory name, as I showed, tg underscore default, right? Like that. Verbose mode output, we can use if we want to check version of Docker Compose, we can check -v or hyphen version. For encryption, we can use these TLS options here, or skip host name check. We do not check the daemons host name against name specified in client certificates. And environment files, we can also provide all the environments using a file and then its path. And then we have these command options: Docker Compose, build, config, create, down, events, and all these we can use. Okay. So that was all about Docker Compose example, how we can use Docker Compose. I will show maybe another example in another video, but for this video, that's all for this Docker Compose. So now we have seen now we have Docker Compose to run our multiple services, which also running on different containers, right? Their corresponding containers. But now we have some problems, right? Which we cannot manage using Docker Compose or Docker commands. So running Docker containers or any containers in production is really tough, a little bit. Because we do not want to log into any into a specific machine or every machine and simply run a Docker run or Docker Compose command, right? Then if one of our container dies or not available by any region, there will be issues, right? And how we can scale our containers or services across different machines, or how we can upgrade those containers or upgrade our packages or anything about our application or services, how we can scale those or upgrade, right? So these are the main issues we found after running Docker run or Docker Compose commands. So all these things are related to the management of our services or management of our application and its components, or that we can also call orchestration. So container orchestration comes into the picture now, which solve all these problems. And this container orchestration uh, have multiple can be done by using different tools like Kubernetes. You might have heard many times, right? And we have Swarm, which is Docker native Swarm. And then we have for our cloud services like Azure Kubernetes Service. Then we have Google Kubernetes Engine, and ECS for yeah, Elastic Container Service for Amazon. And all those tools helps us to solve all these above problems, but in slightly different ways. The general idea is how we use these container orchestration tools. We have two type of components there. We have managers and workers, where we have managers who received expected state. We can say defined state, right? We'll see all those states we can define in YAML configuration file. And just like if you if would I would say we want to run two instance of my web app, and I want to expose that on port 80. So it's workers. The manager then look at all the machines in our cluster and delegate that work to the worker nodes. Manager watch for all the changes, such as container quitting, if any container quits or exits, then work to make actual state reflect the expected state. Means on all the workers, it will run two hosts, two incident instances with our application, which is web application, and it would be exposed on port 80. So that is the responsibility of manager, that though that service must be running with those two instances all the time. So all these concepts we will see in our next videos. We will start with Kubernetes. Okay, and that's it for this one. We would not, maybe I will check for Swarm if I would create some videos, but as Swarm is not much used in the industries, we are using Kubernetes almost everywhere. So we will focus on Kubernetes only. So that's all for this video. Uh, Keep watching, keep sharing. Thank you.